Hi, my name's Paul Cresswell. Welcome to Paul's Tackle Reviews. The purpose of this channel is to give you reviews of tackle that's been out on the bank, tried and tested by an unbiased, unsponsored angler, and that's me. Today I'm not going to waffle too much. I'm going to go straight into a cutaway video to look at how I set my box, all the attachments, the side trays, the arms, when I'm out on the bank and I'm fishing. I think there's a lot to look at here. A lot of the stuff that you're going to see has got its own video, but I'm going to cut away now. And just before anybody says anything, I do appreciate it's not on the bank, it's in my back garden, but this is how I would set up if I was on the bank. Okay, so here we go, taking you through my on the bank setup for my box and all the attachments and everything that I use when I'm fishing. So I'll try and do my best with the gimbal, but I can't say I'm brilliant with it. So let's start there. I've got the Preston Feeder arm. It's an extending arm and you can adjust the height of it up or down using the knuckle that joins onto the leg box. I've got the Maver Auto Clasp rod rest on there that I've done a separate video on, and on the table you'll also see the Preston rod rest that I also use sometimes as well. You can see there I've got the Matrix extending keep net arm, and you'll see that I've put it so that all of the three prongs for the keep nets are all sticking up. I think that's the safest way to do it. If you have them so they're pointing into the water and there's a bad connection, then I think your keep net could go in. So that's how I use it. You'll see there that the box I use is the MAP H30 Lite Mark II. So it's a H-frame box. There's a full video on the channel to tell you all about that if you want to know about it. Just moving on, I've got a rear rest there, and you can see I've put an extension in there so that the rod is nice and high. Obviously, if I don't want that in there, I can just screw that out, but I tend to use it like that. I've got the Guru Reaper rest on top. That's the best thing to stop you losing your rod. You won't lose it using one of them unless you're not on your box when the bite comes. I've got another little thing that I've recently got there. Let's show you that. I got that off eBay. I'll put the seller's name below, and it's a little digital clock that screws into the top of my 30mm legs. They've got a screw top fitting. It's just handy to have a timer just in your eye line when you're fishing. Let's go around here. I do have one of the Preston Clickers. I'm not saying I'm going to put it on the back leg. I might put it on the front leg. I might put it on the side. But it's handy to have one of those, especially where there's net limits and you might be getting close to that. You'll see there on the box I've got a side drawer, and then above that I've got the winder tray. Here is my favourite piece of kit. So I've taken a Matrix brolly arm, put it on my back leg, and then put a roller in there, and I'm calling this the landing net support arm. So the net is nice and easy to get. it doesn't fall down, it's really accessible. Now, the reason I've done this is my club water has an electric fence all the way around, and I was getting so many shocks off the landing net handle that I thought I had to do something. But I will say I use this now on lots of different venues that I go to. If you're watching Matrix, this has to be a product you can bring out cheap as chips, because you've already got the bracket. You just need a little roller and a little bank stick there that obviously I can adjust the height up and down as I need to on the day. Let's just take a look around here, and just for information, I've got all of my pole rollers out there. So I've got the Maver that I've had for at least 12 years. It's still going strong, absolutely no problems with that whatsoever. I've got the Matrix Quad V1 there that you can get into all kinds of different heights and shapes. Don't use that too often, but when you do, it's really useful. Separate video on my channel. And then I've got the Garbolino roller that I've also done a separate video, and I've put that on the ground just to show that you can use that on the ground as well. Let's carefully walk round. There we have my Matrix Roost. If only I could work this. So that comes off an arm off the back of my box. I can then put rods on there, or as I've shown there, I've put a top kit. And then the other end, I've got the Browning freestanding Roost. That's got extending legs as well. It's also, you can see, got a curve there, so you can think about which way you put it so that it doesn't all get blown off in the wind. Let's look at the side trays. So I've got the Ventilite side tray, the smallest of theirs. I've had that over a couple of years. It's absolutely fantastic. The number of times you just get a shower, you can just lift the canopy up, or even in summer you can keep the sun off if we ever get any sun, especially if you're doing something like pace fishing where you don't want it to dry out. And then behind that I've got the smallest map tray that fits, and that's just handy to put other bits and bobs on. Not everything needs to be waterproof when you're fishing, so anything that does can go in the Ventilite, and then everything else goes on the back tray. I do tend to have my Mozilla bag probably a bit closer to the box than that, just so that I can access things if I need to as well. You'll see there on my box, I've got my name. I've got a little YouTube sticker I got off eBay, and you can also see the what they're called, spirit level, so that I can get my box level. Not supplied on the box, but a couple of quid off eBay, not an issue. Let's go back round. And then that's a landing net I've been using now for a couple of months, and it's a hairnet design, and I do a lot of method work and a lot with hair rigs. Excellent. It says it's 20-inch, and you might think, oh, that's big, but it's the same size as the 18-inch Preston one. It's been a brilliant net. It is very, very light. I also use it for straining my pellets when I'm getting ready to use them with the method feeder. I think that's just about it, other than to say bought a new rod, and I've bought the Preston Superior X 9-foot rod. Many of you will have seen my review of the Nitro Impacts 9-foot rod, and that's still an amazing rod, brilliant value and brilliant performance. I've now got this rod. This rod cost 5 times as much as that. It isn't 5 times better, but when I do a review of this, I'll tell you all about it, and I'm just in the process of filming at the minute. That's it. That's my setup. It doesn't change very much. Most of that's been the same for several years, and it works for me, and it is about finding something that works for you. Don't just copy somebody else. We all like things in different places. Hopefully I've given you some ideas. There we have it. I hope you found that interesting. That might give you a few ideas about how to set up your kit or bits of kit that you want to buy. If you've got any questions or comments, put them below. I'll always come back as quickly as possible. There's lots of videos on my channel, a lot of them covering stuff you've seen today. So if you want to check those out, they're all available now, over 70 videos. If you want to give me a like and subscribe, that's great. As I showed in the video, I've got a new rod and I'm reviewing that very soon. Until next time, tie lines.